appropriate book way. I'm going to write the ratios. 2 of them are going to be a fail. 1 of them is going to be correct. And then after, I'll do it again, okay? All right, so look. You have to find the missing side. Okay, so obviously the missing side is at x, right? Okay, they're giving you an acute angle. It's 59 degrees. So this is 59 degrees. This is opposite adjacent hypotenuse, right? Okay, so that's my angle. You need to label OAH. You have to, because remember, sine, cosine, and tangent are ratios of OH, AH, OA. So you have to label OAH. Okay, after that, you're going to make your proportion. But I'm going to do all 3 so you guys can see why it's 1 and not the other 2. Okay, if I tried sine of 59 degrees is equal to O over H. O is X, H is 17. Okay, everything looks beautiful. By the way, this is going to be the winner. If I went with cosine of 59 degrees, cosine of 59 degrees is A over H. A, I have nothing here, and H is 17. And so this is why I get a fail. How are you supposed to put a blank in the calculator? Notice there's nothing labeled here. That's why this one ends up being a fail. And then, this pen's like leaking or gathering. Okay, and then if I look at tangent of 59 degrees is O over A, O, X over A, X, and then nothing because there is no A. So again, this is a fail. And so your winner is sine, because you can actually solve this proportion. You cannot solve an unknown. You can't put A here. A is just telling you how to set up the ratio. That's not the letter you put. Okay, so now if you guys understand the cross product property, which was second semester of im3, the entire semester was cross product property. Okay, you can solve it 2 different ways. So again, now let me solve it and you guys decide what you're comfortable with. All right, if you're happy loading up the calculator, then you can strictly understand that this is, if I cross multiply, if I cross product, I'm going to multiply. So what is 17 times sine of 59? Throw that into your calculator. So what is 17 sine 59 degrees, whoops, right? And I hit equal, and I got 14.57 or 14.7 or 14.6, whichever one you want. Okay, whichever. And so that's your answer. All right, now that's if you're comfortable with the calculator loading everything. If not, you can always solve it again and say, I would just want to do baby steps. What's sine of 59? Sine of 59 is 0.86 is equal to x over 17. And now you could go ahead and cross product. And so now you can multiply. And so what's 0.86 times 17? And so 0.86 times, 17 gives you 14.62. Now, you're going to have some sig fig errors on this one because you're not being 100% precise. This one's more precise, the one on the left, because we didn't cut off any sig figs, but it doesn't matter. I mean, we're not NASA, JPL, it's just high school math. So either of these is acceptable. Do you guys remember this? Yeah. Where are my worksheets? Okay. Wait, then that means you probably need the other one too. Didn't I used to see? All right, so now let me resolve it in shorter version rather than all this writing. Okay, so now if I was to solve it again, let's just write on the worksheet then. Okay, so let's kind of go in. All right, if I just solve it on the worksheet and you want to be condensed, about, you know, how much you're writing. If this is my angle, then this is OAH. Yes? Okay, so if you guys are thinking SOHCAHTOA, all right, you then ask yourself, which side has nothing labeled? O has X, H has 17, A has blank, nothing's written there, right? So you cannot use the adjacent side. You cannot use A because there's nothing there to substitute. So if there's nothing there to substitute, you cannot use a ratio with an A in it. And so cosine is out, tangent is out, and so sine is the winner. Because, right, this is A over H. Well, I'm going to have a blank. A is my denominator. I'm going to have a blank. You cannot solve a blank in a calculator. And so it's sine. So sine of the angle measure is equal to numerator over denominator. Numerator is X, denominator is 17, and now you just cross products. And so you're going to multiply. Okay, here's another thing. Make sure you throw the side length in the front. Do not throw it in the back. And what I mean by that is, if you do, you got to use a parenthesis. If I was to type sine of 59, and if you don't close this parenthesis, and you were to go, oh yeah, times 17, you are taking the sine of like 600, 700 degrees. You see how that 59 times 17 is going to multiply? Because look, see that answer? That's not the correct answer. So what's 59 times 17? 1,003. So what's the sine of 1,003? See, that's what you took. So if you're going to throw it in the back, you better make sure you close the parentheses so that you know it is only the sine of 59 degrees. Now times 17, and there's our 14.58 or 14.6, which is the same as 17 sine of 59, 14.57 or 14.6, okay? So I always tell you guys, just put it in the front just in case you're rushing and you forget to close that parenthesis. Yes? Okay, I'll give you guys like 10 minutes. Try 14, 15, or 16, and then I'll solve it and I'll record again. Yeah? What? Huh?
Like, how do I know it's like O and A? Like, when I like know the labels, how do I know like what's adjacent, what's O?
You have to know from the worksheet we did Thursday of that SOHCAHTOA, that OAH, of how you focus on. See how this is your angle you're focusing on? That side is opposite. Adjacent means next to. So this side A is next to the 59, and the hypotenuse is always opposite the 90 degrees.
Okay, and then O is always opposite of the angle.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so let me shut this off. And you write as